I don't need to keep Facebook up, right?
Nope. We are live. I'm going to count you down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Empowered greetings, Delatoro McNeil II, peak performance expert, renowned keynote speaker, best-selling author, and I'm really, really excited to welcome you as a top speaker and basically speak to get paid and speak to grow your business. And so I'm really excited to be here and all the incredible faculty and staff that has come from all across the country, even around the world, to participate in SuperCon 14. And I'm just honored to play a role in. My name is Delatoro McNeil II, and I am a peak performance expert, renowned keynote speaker, best-selling author, and television personality. I'm based in Tampa, but I travel all across the world. I've been in this industry for over 15 years, and I've been full-time for 12 years in the professional speaking industry. I'm a member of the National Speakers Association, and I am actually one of the youngest speakers on planet Earth to have earned the CSP, which is the Certified Speaking Professional designation. It's the highest international earned designation for professional speaking excellence, and it puts me at about the top 7 to 9% of paid professional speakers worldwide. I've delivered over 3,000 paid professional presentations to 4 primary groups: corporations, professional associations, colleges and universities, and churches and nonprofit organizations. I'm going to say that again: corporations, professional associations, colleges and universities, as well as churches and nonprofit organizations. So I actually have a very, very diverse portfolio of clients that I've developed over the years. I've had a chance to write several books, several bestsellers, and just travel the world impacting people. I also develop speakers and authors. I also train people and take them to that next level. To learn more about me, you can just search Delatoro for all social media. But my primary website is just delatoro.com, DELATORRO.com. That's DELATORRO.com. Speaking of Delatoro, if you will text Delatoro, DELATORRO, to 38470, just pull out your cell phone right now, pull out your cell phone, and just text the word Delatoro to the number 38470 and hit send. I've got a special gift that I'm going to give you. It's a 60-minute coaching program called What is Success? 12 simple answers to one of life's most complex questions. It's an incredible 60-minute coaching session where I talk to you as a peak performance expert about what success really is. And I think you're going to be surprised, because a big house, a gated community, a boat, a motorcycle, a country club membership, none of those things are a part of the 12 things that I believe success really is. And so you're going to get that gift absolutely free from me when you text my name, Delatoro, DELATORRO, to 38470. All right? So that's just my free gift to you for being a part of this program, and I can't wait to have you be a part of that and really enjoy that and listen to that and glean a tremendous amount from it. So in addition to being a speaker and traveling the world and doing what it is that I do, I also have had the fortunate opportunity to train and develop other speakers and authors and help make their careers incredible and really kind of put them on the map. I develop speakers in a very intimate boutique-style program that I do to help speakers take their gift, whether you've spoken many times before or you're brand new to the industry, to help them take their gift to the next dimension and really explode their results. And tonight and today, we're here to talk from this concept of, I want you to write this down, 6 components of a killer keynote that gets you paid and rebooked. I'm going to say that again. The 6 components of a killer keynote that gets you paid and rebooked. In my humble opinion, it's really, really important that you, as a actual business, understand the importance of how powerful your keynote presentation really has to be. And I want you to be active in this session. So I want to make sure you take a minute and do several things. First of all, make sure that you request to add me as a friend on Facebook. You can search Facebook on just typing in Del123. You can add yourself to my fan page. As well as you can like my brand new reality television show, which is called The Keynote. You can just do a search for The Keynote, and you can like our fan page at The Keynote as well. We have an annual conference called the Full Throttle Experience, so if you do a search for the Full Throttle Experience on Facebook, you'll find us there. You can like that page as well, so you can be connected with us and what it is that we're doing. But I want to talk to you from the standpoint of what it really means, if you really want to take it to that next level as a speaker, what it means to be paid as a speaker now. I've been fortunate in this industry to grow my business before the internet and social media ever really even came around. And I'm young, I'm 37 years young, but I'm fortunate enough to have done a lot in this industry, and I was able to build my business before social media, and now that social media is here, continue to grow and build my business with social media and take it to that next level. And I'm here to tell you that with the internet and with social media and without it, with YouTube and without it, et cetera, I've noticed what it takes to create sustainable long-term results in your speaking business. And one of the most important things, I believe that social media is incredible. I believe that your brochures are wonderful, and I think that your websites are great, and I think that business cards are fantastic, and a book is important, and I think all of those things are fantastic, and Instagram and all the things that we do, all the cute stuff, the glitz and the glamour, the interactivity and the instant response of social media and all. I think all that stuff is wonderful. It's important. It's great. But in my humble opinion, the most important piece of marketing material that you have as a speaker is your presentation. Hands down. What's going to get you paid and rebooked is not your business card. It's not your graphic design. It's not your one sheet. It's not your website. It's how well you do once you get live. Because the truth is, you could have all that great stuff going on and get live, and your live presentation not match how great graphic design and how great of a person you basically marketed yourself to be. I know a lot of speakers who market themselves at a level that their presentation cannot sustain. I'm going to say that again. I know a lot of speakers who market themselves at a level that their presentation cannot sustain. And what I want you to be is the kind of communicator that literally your presentation you could ever create. Because at the end of the day, my friend, I really believe in my heart of hearts, and I've been in this industry a long time, and I've been fortunate to have pretty much every incredible mentor that you could imagine impact my life in some way, many of which are also a part of SuperCon 14. So I want you to know that I've been groomed by the best, I've been cut on by the best, and if you want to create that sustainable long-term career for yourself so that you and your family can enjoy your speaking business for years to come, it's really important that while all the graphics and cute stuff is important and it's necessary and it's needed, and the e-blasting and all that stuff is great, it's awesome, I use it, I love it, I do it, it's important, you need it, thumbs up, high five. At the end of the day, my friend, when you get behind that mic, your presentation has to be exceptional. It is no longer good enough for you to be good or even to be great. You got to be incredible. You got to be memorable. The speakers that I know that are kicking butt and taking names get consistent repeat and referral business. In other words, one gig spins off into 7 gigs, and those 7 gigs get rebooked the following year, and then they also spawn other gigs. So what I've learned in this industry, speaking in all markets, I'm not just a youth speaker or a college speaker or just a corporate speaker or just a ministry or nonprofit or church speaker. I'm not a just any speaker. You can't put Del123 in any one category, because fortunately in my career I've been blessed enough to operate in the majority of the markets that most people would want to operate in. So in the run of a month, if I do 8 gigs in a month, which is my average, 2 of those might be churches, 2 of those might be corporations, 2 of those might be associations, and 2 of them might be colleges. Okay, so I get a chance to really run the gamut in my industry, and that's a beautiful thing. And it's taken years and years to build that out, and I'm very humbled and honored by that. And I believe that if I can add value to your life over the next few minutes that we have together, I would like for you to write down 6. I want you to put, if you're taking notes, I want you to number your piece of paper 1 through 6. Okay, and I'm going to share with you 6 components of a killer keynote that gets you paid and rebooked. And remember, I've got a free gift for you just for jumping on, and that free gift is if you just text my name, Delatoro, Delatorro, to 38470, you're going to receive our gift, our download gift, which is What is Success? 12 simple answers to one of life's most complex questions, and it's a 60-minute coaching, absolutely free, that you're going to receive, and you're going to absolutely love it. So I want to share that with you because this isn't going to be long. It's going to be strong. And maybe at the end of this program, if you say, hey, man, Delatoro is my guy. I want to work with this guy. I want to be mentored and trained in the speaking industry by this guy, then I've got an opportunity that I think might be of tremendous value for you. So I'm really, really excited about that. So let's jump right in, okay? Numbers 1 through 6. And I want you to put right next to each number, I want you to put the word high. Okay, because in order for you to have a killer keynote that gets you paid and rebooked, you've got to have these 6 components, and they all start with the word high. Okay, H-I-G-H, high. Okay, so number 1, let's jump right in. High content. Now more than ever before, you need to understand something really powerful and really profound. We are no longer in the era of the sage on the stage. The era of the sage on the stage is gone. That era was where personal growth and development was really birthed, okay? The era when if you were the articulate one, if you were the one who could put 2 sentences together, if you had a great command of the English language, or if you had great oratory skills, okay? If you were the one that could speak, that maybe took drama, or maybe you were raised in church and your parents made you speak a lot, or whatever. If you had great oratory, you were wise, you knew what you were talking about, you were well-read, you were well-versed, you were scholarly, and you could communicate. That was the era of the sage on the stage. You would get booked because of your brilliance and because of your oratory, okay? The era of the sage on the stage is gone. We're now in the age of the expert. And since we're in the age of the expert, your content now is king. Because the people that are getting the stages are not necessarily the people that are the best speakers. I'm sure you've been to plenty of conferences where you're like, man, this person is not the best orator. They're not the best communicator. They're not the most compelling keynote speaker. So why did they get booked over someone else who's maybe has more presence or more charisma? And the answer is because that particular client needed content. So at the end of the day, we've shifted from the era of the sage on the stage to the age of the expert. And now it is important that your content trump everything. So if you really want to take it to that next level as a speaker and you want to get paid and rebooked, your keynote has to be high content. In other words, you want to give people some immediate takeaways. You want to give them 5 steps, 3 strategies, 4 ways, 6 concepts for, 7 principles behind, 2 secrets to. You want to give people tangible takeaways, steps, strategies, skills, things that people can literally write down, actionable content, relevant content, true content, direct content that matters to that particular organization. So your content is key, which means you need to be well researched, you need to be well read, well versed in what it is that you're talking about, so that way you can deliver what that client needs. They don't just need goosebumps anymore. It's important that you can do that too and take people on emotional roller coasters, but at the end of the day, my friend, your content has to be king. So the first principle in the 6 components of a killer keynote that paid and rebooked is, will that client rebook you because you gave good content? You have to deliver high content. So I really want you to focus on that. In this age where people are just taking other people's content left and right, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, it's really important that you create compelling content that client can utilize to say, yes, our people got these deliverables. Our people got what it is that we asked them for. In fact, now more than ever before, meeting planners and people that are booking speakers are asking you to not only submit a one-paragraph description of your content, but they're wanting what's called learning outcomes or learning objectives, which means they want to know what content are my people guaranteed to walk away with from your session. Not just goosebumps and good feelings, but what are some key core takeaways that people can have and utilize to take to that next level. So again, principle number one, if you want to get paid and rebooked, it is crucially important that you have high content. That's number one. Number two, high energy, okay? You got to bring the energy. If you're going to be the keynote speaker for a presentation, it's really, really important that you understand that the keynote speaker, outside maybe the CEO of the organization, the keynote speaker is the celebrity of the conference, the celebrity of the event, the celebrity of the convention, the celebrity of the gathering, the celebrity of the retreat, or whatever it is that you're speaking at, okay? If you're the keynote speaker, you're the it person. You are the primary individual. So it is crucially important that you bring the energy. No audience wants to be bored. Every audience wants to be inspired, wants to be encouraged, wants to be uplifted. Nobody wants to be snoring. And let me tell you something. Now more than ever before, audiences have plenty of options other than listening to you. It is vitally important that you understand that audiences have options now. They don't have to just, I mean, I've seen speakers, I've been at conferences, and I've seen speakers be speaking, and people on the front row, rather than paying attention to the speaker, are literally down on their tablet, down on their Kindle, down on their iPhone. They'd rather be doing something else. You have so many different things that are distracting your audience from your content and your presentation that you need to bring the energy. Because if you have great content, but if you don't bring the energy in terms of how you deliver the content, it might be good content, but guess what? People have already checked out because people's attention spans are so short right now. So you have to make sure that you bring the energy. The keynote speaker's job is to entertain and to inspire and to empower and to uplift and to deliver value, etc., 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 etc. But you got to do it in such a way that means you bringing the energy. And when I say energy, I'm talking about authentic energy. There's a big difference. Write this down. There's a difference between mechanics and passion. I'm going to say that again. There is a difference between mechanics and passion. I'm not talking about using cheerleader mechanics to try to rah-rah an audience. I'm not talking about trying to use call and response or music or dancing or whatever it is that you have seen other people do that maybe you've modeled or emulated that you think is going to work with you. There's a difference between mechanics and raw, authentic passion. So I want you to have a passion for that audience, and I want you to have a passion for that content, so much so that you bring the energy in terms of whatever the energy is for you. I don't want you to be like Del123. I don't want you to be like anybody else that you've seen. I want you to be you. But you have to be you in such a way that it allows you to be authentic. And you bring the authentic energy to that stage. And you rock that stage. And you tear that place up. And you leave people wanting more. You start strong, you carry strong, and you close strong. I'm going to say that again. You start strong, you carry strong, and you close strong. There's no such thing as starting out kind of and then I kind of ramp up. I don't do that. We're going to start strong, we're going to carry strong, and we're going to close strong. So from beginning to end, wow, you're going to be wild. You're going to be mesmerized the entire time because I don't believe in taking any stage or any platform for granted. You know, my mother, who I love, who was more than a mother, she was a teacher, she was a mentor, she was a coach to me. She died on April 30th at 5:30 p.m. 2013, and I miss my mom, love her very much. And she taught me the gift of presentation. She taught me the gift of communication and oratory, and I'm so honored. And I've always been very serious about the stage and the platform and really, really rocking out and leaving nothing, no stone unturned when I get on the stage. But once Mom passed, I got 10 times more aggressive, and I got to a place where I didn't care anymore. I didn't care about public opinion. I didn't care what people thought. So I've made a commitment that every time I hit the stage now that Mom is gone, that I not only deliver for myself, but I deliver for Olivia as well. And I make sure that every single presentation, every audience knows that my mom impacted my life in the way that she did, because now she's passed the baton to me to run that race. And now Dr. Miles Monroe has passed that baton to me and so many of us to run that race of leadership. Global ambassador he was. And so I'm humbled. And so it's our job, y'all, to when we hit that stage, to bring the authentic energy that our foremothers and our forefathers died for, so that we can have a right to be on that stage in front of hundreds of thousands or tens of thousands of people. So I want you to understand that if you want to create a killer keynote that gets you paid and rebooked, it's got to be high content, number one. But number two, it's got to be high energy, okay? And I want you to do whatever it takes to put yourself in a peak state to where you are a conduit for positivity for that audience, because they're pulling from your energy, whether you realize it or not. And so you need to carry 10 times the amount of energy that you think you need if you want to rock that stage and crush it. Okay, so principle number 3, high relevance. Okay, ding, 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 high relevance. It is really, really important that your message was relevant to their audience at that time. You could have a high content message that is not relevant to that group because you did not customize your presentation. It is really, really important that you create a highly relevant presentation for that audience. And I know some speakers vow that they never customize. I always customize my talk. You will never hear me give the same presentation twice, ever. And there's times where I've spoken at let's say a church or mega church. I've done a lot of mega churches, and I'd be the morning speaker for 3 different services. And I've had church staff who stayed to all 3 services. And they said, man, you gave a different message at each service. Although the principles were the same, it came across different every single time. The reason why that is because I want it to be relevant for the body of people that are directly in front of me in that moment. And if you want to be an expert, you want to be a master communicator, you want to be a platinum level speaker, you want to take it to that next level, you want to be the keynote, if you really want to have success in this business long term, not just for a year or 2, but sustainability long term, longevity, it is really important that you are relevant to every audience you ever speak to. You are highly relevant to them. So in order to be relevant, you got to understand that every single audience listens to the same radio station, WIIFM. What's in it for me? They want to know, how is what you're talking about, how does it apply to me? So it is really crucially important that you as a speaker learn how to master the art of the turnaround. I'll say that again. You have to learn how to master the art of the turnaround. When you teach a principle or a concept, it is important that you share the principle and concept, and then you instantaneously turn it around on them and show them how that principle applies to them. Okay, how it applies to that particular person, that particular sales group, that particular customer service organization, that particular educational institution, or that particular nonprofit, or that particular government agency, or fill in the blank, whoever it is that you're speaking to. You have to make sure that your message is highly relevant. What does this have to do with me? In order to do that, it's important that you do research on that organization. It's important that you maybe do some case studies, participate in some conference calls leading up to that presentation. Know what the hot buttons are in their industry. Know what the keywords are in their industry. Know what crisis they've just come out of. Know what challenges they're actually getting ready to go into, so that you can speak to those things in your presentation. In other words, if you know an organization has just gone through a tremendous amount of change, even though your talk might be on leadership, it's important that your presentation within your leadership talk, you salt and pepper that leadership talk with some principles around how to handle and negotiate and rise up out of and actually leverage change and transition. It's a really, really important skill set that you learn how to have what we call rhetorical sensitivity in the speaking industry, where it is you know how to literally ebb and flow with an audience in the moment and give an audience what they need as well as what the client wants them to have. And it's important to function with that delicate balance, with mathematical exactitude. You have to really, really be tuned in and honed in into what your audience needs in that moment if you want to be highly relevant. Okay? And so I want you to really be on the cutting edge of what's going on, which means you have to be well read, well versed, know your stuff better than anybody else, know your space, own your space, be learning and constantly growing and developing. And I say this to speakers all the time. Don't you dare ask for a $1,000 speaking fee if you haven't invested $1,000 in yourself to learn how to be a great speaker. Don't ask for a $5,000 speaking fee if you haven't invested $5, $10, $15, $50,000 in being the kind of speaker that you need who can command a $5,000 fee. Don't you dare ask for a $10,000 speaking fee unless you've invested $100,000 in your own personal and professional growth and development to the point to where you can command those kinds of fees. Don't ask for a $10,000 check if you haven't invested $100,000 in your personal and professional growth and development to be the caliber of individual who deserves to earn that kind of a check. That's just my humble opinion. And I believe that the greats and the masters that built this industry of personal and professional development put millions of dollars into themselves so that when they get on stage, they can pull from all the greats and all the masters in their own personal stories and create something for an audience in that moment that is simply nothing short of magical and amazing and highly relevant. Do you see how all these points are coming together? If you've got great content, and you've got great energy, but guess what? You weren't relevant to where that organization was in that moment. You're not going to get paid, or you might get paid for that speech, but you definitely won't get rebooked. Are you starting to understand the way this works? The best are the best for a reason. The people that are at the top are at the top for a reason. That's because they understand these 6 components of a killer keynote that gets them paid and rebooked. Okay? Number 4, you ready for number 4? Let's write this down. Number 4 is highly interactive. Okay, now more than ever before, it's really important that you make your presentation interactive. You're dealing with, and 9 times out of 10, you're dealing with adult learners, or even if you're dealing with young people, you're dealing with young adults. Okay, so there are different learning styles. My master's degree is in instructional systems design with an emphasis in human performance enhancement. And so my first job fresh out of college, I went to Florida State, got a bachelor's and master's in 5 years with a 4.0 and no debt. And so I've been fortunate enough to, although I went through a lot of pain in college, including, getting rejected by a fraternity, including, running out of money at a certain part, including working my butt all the way through school to finish, and many other things, challenges I went through in school. I was able to finish Florida State with a bachelor's and master's in 5 years total with a 4.0 and no debt. And so I'm humbled and thankful to God that He was able to help me through that. But even whether you're speaking to adults in terms of companies or businesses or whatever, or entrepreneurs or whatever, or you're speaking to young adults, at the end of the day, as adults, people, as human beings, there are different learning styles, okay? So it's important that you understand the different learning styles of the people that it is that you're speaking to. And it's important that you not just engage people in something that they're going to write, but you engage people, you engage the various learning styles. So it's not just what you say, which is auditory, it's not just what they see, which is visual, but it's also movement, it's kinesthetic, okay? It's how they feel, engaging their emotion, where their state matches the content that you're delivering. So for me, I'm a very high energy kind of presenter. I'm a very experiential type of presenter, facilitator, trainer, speaker, fill in the blank, whatever I do, it's going to have some type of an experiential angle to it. Why? Because I'm really big into learning by doing. People only remember a certain percentage based on what they write, a certain percentage based on what they hear, but the percentage explodes based on what they do. Okay, so I call my events experiences. They're not keynotes. They're not. It's the Del123 experience site, Del123.com, and you watch that video. It says, "Get ready for the Del123 experience." I think that's cool, by the way. I love that movie trailer voice guy. Anyway, and I actually found that guy on Fiverr.com. So if you're growing your business and you haven't started leveraging Fiverr, Fiverr.com, I found my movie trailer voice guy for my voiceovers, who's done a lot of my videos directly on Fiverr, and so it's really, really great resource. Anyway, I segued to tell you that, but that was just a quick footnote for you to have. But anyway, going back to the interactive conversation, when that video comes on, one of the things that you see is that I believe in interacting with my audience. And I believe that if you want to get paid and rebooked, it's important that you interact with your audience. Give people an opportunity to interact with your content. Ask questions. One of the quickest ways that I interact with my audiences is I love getting away from the podium. I don't even use podiums. I love using a wireless mic so that I have freedom to move around and really be engaged and not so much caught up in my PowerPoint or my notes, but be caught up in that audience. Okay. Every year I get a chance to be a part of a very, very private event that Bishop T.D. Jakes does, and one of the things that he talks about every year I go, it's an incredible, incredible event. And it's a very, very small group of the top Christian business leaders and Christian pastors and etc. Young Christian leaders and pastors all across America, around the world actually. And one of the things that he said that really touched me one year was he said, it's important that you make love to the scripture and let the audience watch, rather than make love to the audience and let the scripture watch. And I thought that that was really brilliant. Basically what he was saying was, be so in tune with your message that you are really creating this interactive dance with the content and your message so much that the audience gets to just sit back and be in awe of you, rather than trying to cheerlead the audience for the sake of the content. Does that make sense? It's really brilliant. So I say that under the whole guise of being highly interactive, because it's crucially important that if you want to take it to that next level as a communicator, as a speaker, it is crucial that you really create that interactive dialogue where it's not just auditory, it's not just visual, it's not just kinesthetic, olfactory, it's all of it. And you create experience for people that takes them to a completely different place. So if you want to get paid and rebooked, you want to make sure that your presentation is interactive. Get away from that podium, off that stage. Walk in and around motivational Kevin Hart. Because a brother showed, you know what I'm saying? So for me, I'm off the stage, I'm in the audience, I'm high-fiving people. I'm sure you can see right behind, hello, right? This is a big corporate event, and I'm high-fiving my audience members. I'm weaving whatever it takes to help the audience get the point. And that means being interactive and high-fiving and being engaged and asking questions and taking volunteers out of the audience and doing whatever it takes to create an interactive experience for your audience. So I believe that if you really want to get rebooked, it's really important that you are highly interactive. Let's go to number 5. Highly original. Ooh, woo. Ooh, okay, now this one's important because I see a lot of people in the industry right now that are what my good friend Simon T. Bailey says, rather than being authentic voices, they are annoying echoes. And many years ago, you know, Simon said that about my content and what I do to develop speakers. And in my humble opinion, Simon T. Bailey is one of the top speakers in the world. And he said, you know, Del123 teaches young speakers, aspiring speakers, how to be an original voice rather than an annoying echo. And basically what he meant by that was so many times, you know, we'll read 4 or 5 books. We'll read, you know, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, or we'll read Think and Grow Rich, or we'll read, you know, Caught Between a Dream and a Dollar. We'll read a couple of key books out there, and then we just kind of regurgitate what's already been out there for years, and it's already been said 100 million times over. And I think it's really important that you become an original voice rather than an annoying echo, which means in order for you to create an experience for an audience that is original, in order for you to get rebooked, I was just on the phone literally yesterday with a client. It was a professional association, and I spoke for them, and they said, Del123, 2 days after you spoke, we had a board meeting. We had 144 proposals to be the keynote speaker for our annual conference. Our board heard you speak at the event 2 days ago, and we completely pushed all 144 proposals to the side and chose you unanimously as a speaker. That's pretty awesome. And the reason why they did it was they said, man, you really did a great job. You created an experience for our people that they had never had before. And it was like, man, we can get content, but we can't get that overall experience, that experience, the way you approach the subject matter, the way you approach the audience, the way you handled the room, the way you greeted people when you came in, the way you were interactive with them after it was all over, the entire experience that you created, we've never seen a speaker deliver like that ever before. And so you created an original or an authentic environment for our audience so that we said, you know what, we need Del123. And that's what I'm saying that you want to be able to do. You want to be highly original. Okay? And being highly original means several things. You need to know the power of your story. Because at the end of the day, 5 people can teach on sales and teach a lot of the same content. But what makes the difference between Tom Hopkins talking on sales, or Brian Tracy talking on sales, or Grant Cardone talking on sales? Okay, when a lot of the nuances are very similar. The difference is their personal authenticity and their originality, their stories, their content, their perspective on the industry that makes that content unique and different. So what's your perspective? What's your angle? What's your twist? What makes what you're doing original and authentic to who you are? It's really important. If you want to take it to that next level, you have to understand how to be original so that you can have original content that you've thought of. One of the things that I make my speaking students do is I make them fast other people's content for a certain amount of time so that way they can really focus on what they believe. Because I believe most people, when they get up and speak, they espouse what other people believe, but they haven't experienced enough of life and enough of success or failure or fill in the blank or a combination of all that to know what they themselves believe. And I believe if you really want to take it to that next level, it's crucially important that you know what you believe. Okay, so what principles have you espoused to? That's why publishing and going and creating products and doing all those things is really, really crucially important, because it makes you go deep in your subject matter. And that's where originality and authenticity comes from. Not shallow, but going deep in your subject matter, going deep in your message so that you know it better than anybody else. And you can deliver it in an authentic way that's true and unique to you. So what are you doing to be original? What are you doing to be unique? What are you doing to be different? You know, my name is nothing about my name says who I am. No, I mean, think about it. Del123 is Spanish. Levon, my middle name, is French, and McNeil is Irish. So when people have never seen me before and they've just heard my name, when I show up and say, hi, I'm Del123, they're like, really? Because nothing about my name says, you know, short, you know, handsome guy with a goatee, you know, but my point is, nothing about my name is commonplace. It's very original. So I grew up with people making fun of my name, calling me a Ninja Turtle, calling me Donatello, Leonardo. I mean, I've gotten called every name under the book. So I learned at an early age to appreciate my uniqueness, to appreciate my difference, to go where I'm celebrated, not where I'm tolerated, to really, really value what made me original. I say this all the time. Dr. Miles Monroe said this: you were all born a priceless original. Don't die a cheap copy of someone else. I'm going to say that again. We all were born as priceless originals. Don't die a cheap copy of somebody else. I say this all the time in speeches, and I'm sure you said it and maybe even heard it before. When you try to be like anybody else, the very best you can be is second place. When you try to be like anybody else, the very best you can be is second place. So it's important that you be original. And being original means being true to who you are and your own personality. Your uniqueness, your personality, your swag, your style, who you are, the way you dress, the way you carry yourself, okay? Your laugh, your demeanor, your walk, your stance, all these things create what's original about you. There's nobody else who can be Joel Osteen. There's nobody else who can be Oprah Winfrey. There's nobody else who can be Tyson. There's nobody else who can be Zig Ziglar. There's nobody else who can be Anthony Robbins. There's nobody else who can be Del123. There's nobody else who can be Dr. Willie Jolly. There's nobody else who can be who can be Tom Hopkins. There's nobody else who can be Patricia Fripp. There's nobody else who can be Mendino. There's nobody else who can be W. Mitchell. There's nobody else who can be any of these amazing communicators. Ali Brown. There's nobody else who can be any of these amazing Dr. Maya Angelou. There's nobody else who can be these amazing people. And there's nobody else that can be you but you. So walk in who you are, your uniqueness, what makes you special, what makes you different, and celebrate it and love your originality. And when you love that from the stage and you bring who you are to the forefront and it comes out and you just be you and do the best you can in who you are, you're going to be amazed at how the world celebrates you. So principle number 5 is be highly original. And another thing that's going to help you with being original is give credit. I want you to take a shovel and give credit where credit belongs. In other words, if it's not your quote, stop quoting like it's your quote. In the speaking industry, we say, okay, after 3 times, I'm going to adopt it as mine. And I think that's actually the worst thing you can do. After 3 times, if you hear something from another speaker, and the first time you give them credit, the second time you say, oh, someone said, and the third time you say, I believe, it's really important that you get away from that, because that's a very common thing in the speaking industry. You want to get away from that. You want to always give credit to whom credit is due. So if you know that Dr. Willie Jolly says a setback is a setup for a comeback, I don't care if you say it 10,000 times over the 20, 30, 50 years of your career, you should always say, and as my good friend Dr. Willie Jolly says, a setback is a setup for a comeback. Give credit for where your content comes from. Stop stealing people's stuff and calling it your own just so you can sound wise. Because at the end of the day, our audiences are now extremely well versed and they're extremely well educated before you ever hit the platform. So they know this stuff. Why? Because social media has made photo quotes, boom, they're everywhere. So at the end of the day, if it's your quote, and say it if it's your quote, but if it's not your quote, and if it's not your saying, and if it's not coming from your book content, then give credit away, because actually by giving the credit away to other sources, it makes you come across more well-read, more well-versed, and more excellent as an authority, because you've done your research. Does that make sense? I hope this is adding value to you. The last principle that I want to share with you, and if this is adding value to you, I mean, just connect with us on social media. Go on LinkedIn and leave us a recommendation on our LinkedIn page. If you're really enjoying this content, or maybe you might want to work directly with me. Once a year, I work with speakers because I get approached literally 8 to 10 times a month from people and you want to be mentored by someone. And I believe it's important that you pick somebody to follow, because if you ask 10 speakers how to do one thing in the speaking industry, you're going to get 10 different answers, and they're all right because it worked for that speaker. But it can create a lot of confusion for you, because at the end of the day, 10 different ways to do something can cause you to stall out. So I believe that you do need a mentor. You do need a coach. When you went on this game, follow Les Brown and Willie Jolly. I decided to follow Anthony Robbins and Zig Ziglar, and those were my voices. Those models were my business models as I got into this industry and as I got into this game. And I followed that, and I learned a tremendous amount from those individuals and continued to grow my network of mentors and coaches, and I bought everything they had. I was a part of every boot camp or course or program that they could ever offer. And if you really want to be sustainable long term, you need to be under somebody's coaching and someone's tutelage to take it to that next level. So maybe I'm your person. Maybe I'm that person to work with you. If so, then I'm going to give you an opportunity, and here in 1 second as I give you this last principle. Last thing I want to talk to you about, though, real quick, is number 6, which is high ROI. Write that down. High ROI. Let's recap. I've taught you high content. Number 1. Number 2, high energy. Number 3, highly relevant. Number 4, highly interactive. Number 5, highly original. Number 6, high ROI. High return on investment. Return on investment for your client. It is important that you understand what client value is. What I mean by that is you need to ask your client this question. What do you want people to do, think, create, feel, or believe after they're done hearing me? What do you want your audience to do, think, believe, create, feel, or experience after I'm done speaking? Because that's what ROI means to that client. For example, I'll give you a quick example. Let's say that a client hires you to come in and speak, and you think that you're just there to inspire their salespeople. But what ROI to the client is that the client wants more of their salespeople to use the new software. So you say, okay, because let's say they just implemented like Salesforce or something, and so they're bringing you in to inspire their salespeople, but they really need their salespeople to start using Salesforce more. Okay, so a bump in Salesforce activity by 30% after your talk would really show ROI to that client. You get there, you get excited because you're the speaker for the blah 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 blah, and you focus on doing all stuff that you do to create energy in the moment, but you don't give people enough tangible benefits of the Salesforce program that makes them run to begin to start to use it, even download it to their phones while they're in session with you. Then at the end of the day, you might have done a good job, but you really did not return ROI for the client, because the client's now not seeing an increase in our salespeople. Great. Why? Because there was no return on investment. Does that make sense? So you need to understand what ROI means for your client. It's very, very crucial that you understand what outcome they're looking for. Do you want an increase in attendance? Do you want an increase in the way people address at work? Do you want an increase in morale? Do you want an increase in personal motivation? Do you want an increase in productivity? Do you want an increase in sales? Do you want an increase of how people treat each other? Do you want an increase in teamwork? Do you want an increase in the number of people that actually sign up for a campaign or a project or something? What is it that return on investment looks like to your client? And you want to build those call to actions into your presentation, so that way that audience does what is it you need them to do, so that way your audience raves about you as a communicator and demands that you return. High ROI. It is really, really important that you understand what the end result is that your client is looking for. And I always ask the client, what is it that you're looking for? What is it that you need to happen as a result of this? So my friend, if you can understand what the client needs and deliver what the client needs, not what you want, okay? This is not about you. This is about what the client needs. That client booked you to solve a problem for their organization that they're going to have to deal with 364 other days out of the year when you're back on a plane and you're somewhere else. I'm going to say that again. Your client has to deal with this issue in their organization for 364 more days than you do. You got to deal with it on one day when you speak one time. So you cannot deliver content, and I'm serious about this. You cannot deliver content that now you fly away and now you've left your client in a pickle to have to live out stuff that you said on stage because you didn't care enough about the ROI. It is crucially important that if you want to take it to that next level as an expert communicator, as a speaker, and have longevity in this business. I've been in this game 15 years, full time for 12. That's a big deal in this industry. And I'm fortunate to make incredible money doing what I do, and I've developed enough other speakers who are now tearing it up all across the country and around the world, which is incredible. And I'm fortunate to say that. I'm fortunate that some of the people on this SuperCon are people that I've coached and mentored. Why am I saying this to you? Because I want you to understand that it's not about you. You can't speak and then run in the audience and take notes of your own presentation. Your gifting and talent is not about you. It's about what that client needs. Give the client what they need rather than what you want, and you'll get paid and rebooked. I've taught you 6 things. SuperCon 14. I've taught you how to offer high content. I've taught you how to offer high energy. I've taught you how to make sure that your content your presentation is highly relevant, okay? Highly interactive, highly original, and of course, number 6, high on the ROI. And if you do these 6 things, I believe that you'll create a killer keynote that gets you paid and rebooked. And I'm excited about that opportunity and that process that you're going through right now. And I believe that if this program's added value to you, here's what I want you to do. I'm going to give you a couple of assignments. Number 1, if this program has really meant something special to you, shoot me an email. Tell me what this session has done for you. My email is delatoro@gmail.com. DELATORRO@gmail.com. And just say, hey, Delatoro, this is what your training meant to me and why. I'd love to read it. I'd appreciate it. Make sure that you shout us out on all social media. Please do us a favor and be a part of everything that we're on online. Make sure that you send that text, type the word Delatoro, DELATORRO, to 38470 to receive your free gift. What is success? 12 simple answers to one of life's most complex questions. It's a 60-minute coaching you get absolutely free. And there might be 1 or 2 of you all who are on this hangout right now, this SuperCon 14, and you say, you know what, I really want to work with Delatoro directly. I work with speakers once a year, and I do a program called the Platinum Platform. And I take 10 speakers, and we teach you everything I've learned and mastered in this business over 15 years, and I teach it to you in 1 week. And it's an absolutely incredible experience. And I've actually got a couple of spots left. if you're serious about taking your life and your dream and your business and making and building a long-term sustainable speaking business. I'm not interested in people who just want copies of it, which is the typical number of copies that a self-published print-on-demand book sells in the course of its lifetime. I'm not interested in someone who's green, who's I'm just kind of interested in speaking. I'm only really wanting to work with people who know that you know that you know that you know down in your bones that there's nothing on this planet that you were meant to do other than get on stages around the world and impact audiences with your story and your message and your gift and what God has given you. And you're looking for a quality mentor, full of integrity, full of excellence, and full of knowledge, who will hold your hand through this business. My friend, let me tell you something. You need way more than just a quick book. You need way more than just a 30-minute coaching call. To have long-term success in this business, you need to follow someone. You need someone to coach you and mentor you through the process. My program is $10,000. If you're interested in working with me and spending the week with me, we work together for several months leading up to the program in January, and then we work together for 3 to 6 months after the January experience. And you get webinars and conference calls. And by the way, we film the entire experience for our reality TV show concept. Then inbox or at gmail.com. And if $10,000 is a lot of money to you, you're not meant for this business. Because at the end of the day, everybody who you will hear on this SuperCon has invested way more than $10,000 to learn and master their craft. Can anybody go to college for $10,000? Absolutely not. You can't even go through high school for less than $10,000. So my program is $10,000, and I'm only looking for 1 or 2 people. If you're seriously serious about working with me, inbox me if you're serious. We have payment plans available to make it affordable for you. Pull it from retirement, pull it from your savings, pull it from money market, do a garage sale, do a couple of workshops in your area to raise the money. But without question, without fail, I have trained and raised up some of the best communicators on the planet, and they're out there kicking butt and taking names. Some of my students include Layman Hicks, who's one of the top youth speakers in the country today, Lethea Owens, who's one of the top branding experts all around the world today, and so many others that I've been fortunate enough to work with in my career. I'm really, really honored and excited to be partnering with these incredible people who are kicking butt and taking names all over the world and building their message and sharing their story. And so I've been mentored by the best, Dr. Willie Jolly and Tony Robbins and Zig Ziglar when he was alive, and Les Brown, and Dr. Stephen Covey when he was alive was an incredible mentor to me, and Dr. John Maxwell is a tremendous mentor to me even now. And so I've been groomed by the best, and I'd love to work with you. So again, my program is called the Platinum Platform, and it's a $10,000 investment in your speaking business, but I guarantee you this, I can teach you how to grow and build your speaking business long term. Speaking, publishing, branding, marketing, you get the whole fee creation and negotiation, you get everything. Product development, product funnel, internet marketing for your business, how to leverage speakers, bureaus, and agencies, everything that you need. I teach you a 12-step blueprint. When you come spend that time with me, you're going to get 2 thick binders. You're going to get a one of everything binder, which is a binder of 1 copy of every document that I've used to build my speaking business, and you're going to get a 200+ page PowerPoint of the entire week's worth of content. When you work with me, you're not going to need to work with another speaker development program for at least 2 to 3 years, because you're going to get so much content, and you're going to get not only the content, but you're going to know how to apply the content and build out your speaking dream and your speaking empire long term. Plus, the beauty of it is we film the entire experience for our reality television concept. So do us a favor right now and find us on Facebook. Just look up The Keynote, and you'll find our fan page for the reality show, The Keynote, and like our page. We'd really appreciate it if you'd like our page. And if you're in and around the area, you can check out, we got a great premiere coming up pretty soon here that you could be a part of as well. I'm just excited about working with the best of the best. Recently named, I've ranked number 32 of the top 60 best speakers in the world. Motivational speakers in the world. Tony Robbins and Susie Orman and Dr. Willie Jolly and Les Brown and Dr. John Maxwell and Malcolm Gladwell and Farrah Gray and so many other incredible, amazing communicators, Chris Widener and Laurel Langemeyer and so many others. So to be ranked in that list is really absolutely extraordinary. And I'm just a humble guy from Tampa, Florida, who's been fortunate enough to impact the lives of people all around the world with what God's given me. So if you want to work with a quality mentor, someone who knows and has mastered the college market, the church market, the professional association market, the corporate market, as well as the market of speaking to entrepreneurs and doing speak to sell events and things of that nature, I might be your guy, but we'll see. Once you inbox me, we're going to send you an application. You complete the application, and we'll talk about the possibilities of us working together. But I only work with the best of the best. And I just want to encourage you that whoever you work with to grow yourself as a speaker, it's going to take an investment. Nobody's going to develop you for free, and whatever they teach you is not going to be long term. If you really want the best, if you want the goods, you've got to invest in your career for a long-term sustainable success. Today's all been about speaking as a business and how to create wealth and long-term profitability as a speaker. When I applied for the CSP at the age of 33, I had to report well over $1 million that I'd earned in the speaking business, et cetera, et cetera. And I've earned over $5 million in the speaking industry over the last 12 years that I've been full-time. And it's been a really, really amazing ride and an incredible journey. And I'm humbled and honored by that. And I get a chance to be philanthropic and give to my church and give to other things that I believe in and help people and groom people. And I'm starting my own nonprofit. There's all kinds of wonderful things that I'm fortunate and blessed enough to do because of this incredible industry. So I just want to say to you, happy holidays to you. God bless you. Thank you so much for the honor and opportunity it is to work with you. And I pray that something that I've shared with you has really pricked your heart and inspired you. And something has created that Mary and Elizabeth experience where that baby is leaping inside of your stomach to where you know that this is what you're meant to do with your life. At some point, my friend, you're going to have to take the leap of faith. You're going to have to take that scary step and step out on seemingly nothing to land on everything you've ever wanted. It would be my honor to work with you. It'd be my honor to serve you. And I thank you so much for the wonderful honor of teaching you the 6 components of a killer keynote that gets you paid and rebooked. Wait to hear from you. The 6 principles, real quick as a recap. You got to have high content. You got to have high energy. You got to have high relevance. You got to have high interactivity. You got to have high originality, and you've got to have number 6, high ROI, return on investment. If you build those things into your keynote, you will get paid and you will get rebooked. This is Del123 McNeil II signing off, saying this: either you build your own dreams or somebody else is going to hire you to build theirs. God bless you. Happy holidays. We'll talk to you soon.
It is.